Good day everybody, welcome to Rana's Radar. Hot Rod Shop Tours continues on the channel. I'm here in California, all the way in Huntington Beach at Mackey's Hot Rod Shop. Now some of you might recognize Brian from his YouTube channel, Mackey and Machines. But today we're here to check out some of the cars, learn a little bit more about Brian, find out about the history and how it all started. So let's go inside and check out Mackey's Hot Rod Shops right here in Huntington Beach. It's all about the moral support.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, I'm here with Brian. Brian, so good to meet you officially.
It's great to finally meet you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me here.
Sure.
I am excited to find out about yourself and also show everybody at home Mackey's Hot Rod Shop.
Great.
Tell us a little bit, how did everything begin, starting with the shop? How long have you been here for?
So I've been in business for 17 years. We just celebrated 17 years. It's flown by.
It's flown by.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
There is a lot of beautiful builds inside, and we're in one building. There's another building across the street from us. We're here in Huntington Beach. Brian, you as a builder, tell us about your style.
Well, I think that's kind of changed in the last couple of years, which is interesting when I start to think about it, because I started out building these like real low slung, kind of ratty cars that I became kind of known for. This was kind of a big deal project for us. Hot Rod Magazine and Sailor Jerry Rum commissioned us to build a 1930 Ford sedan. And it had a viral video that just took off, and it really kind of helped our shop get started early on. I'd only been in business for 4 years, and we had the magazine cover of Hot Rod in 2012, and a viral video with, I think, 50 million views.
Now, you're telling me 2 cars in 24 hours?
Yeah, so Hot Rod Magazine did a comparison of this hot rod or rat rod versus the Lamborghini. And what they concluded was that the old rusty hot rod got way more attention from girls than the Lamborghini.
I have to agree. I would definitely be approaching the hot rod, everyone.
Right. And in the last 4 or 5 years, we've transitioned into this kind of preservation work.
Okay.
Where we're saving these old customs and hot rods.
I absolutely love it. Now, you know, this is why Brian is here on Rana's Radar, because there is going to be another segment to this, which I'm very excited to show you, and I won't speak too much about that, but you are doing an absolutely phenomenal thing, I believe.
Oh, I thank you, and I feel the same way. Egolessly saying, I feel the same way. I feel like it's a car that deserves
absolutely
to be brought back to what it was.
Absolutely. We're talking about preserving the history of hot rods, the hot rod culture, and not just preserving it, but keeping it with the modern days, and for people like me and the next generation, teaching them about what it was and some of those legends that are no longer with us.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah.
I've seen that in the last, like I said, like the last 5 years, I've kind of realized that like a lot of these guys that started out and paved the way are going away.
Yeah.
And they, you know, this has been the last 20 or 30 years. You know, we've lost a lot of great people, but I think I'm noticing that more and more, especially as I age.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
And the problem is that in those times there was a lot of magazines and print, but they didn't really, you know, social media wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So to bring them back on my channel as well as Brian's channel, Mackey and Machines. Now, most of you might recognize him from the channel. Pretty cool. I mean, there is some awesome videos on there and build videos as well as very entertaining.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with it. As we were talking, it's been trials and tribulations, ups and downs for YouTube, but it's been a lot of fun. And we've had some great guys on that channel too, like Gene Winfield was a famous customizer who we lost last year.
Yeah.
And we had a really cool video with him out in Bonneville. And so, yeah, the YouTube channel is our day-to-day in the shop, but it's also our activities outside of the shop at Bonneville Salt Flats and Grand National Roadster Show. And
that's why it's entertaining, as well as getting tips and hints on how to do things like chopping a top of a Ford truck or installing even something simple like brakes. I love it, I really do. But Brian, let's find out a little bit more about yourself. Now, we're standing here inside the office, and we are going to give everyone a good tour of the shop, see some of the projects, and meet some of the team members as well.
Great.
And then see some of the finished cars. But here in the office, now, I always say it, that nothing says more about a builder than what's hanging on their wall.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go have a look.
Okay. Around the corner, we have some more up-to-date features and things like this. But, you know, it's funny when you have something hung on the wall and you see it day after day after day, you kind of it just blends in. It's like a tattoo. You forget that it's there.
Yeah.
And, but now that I'm looking at it, it does make me feel a little nostalgic. This was kind of an interesting one too. This was a 62 Impala that we built back in 2013, I believe. This car I purchased in Washington and drove it all the way back home to Southern California. But it's a lowrider theme with the paint scheme, and so I designed all of that. This was a wrap. I worked with Surf City Graphics, and we actually did a vinyl wrap with this pattern. And so it was really, I think at the time it was kind of like, we didn't really emphasize how unique that was, but to do a vinyl wrap in that like traditional scalloped and paneled lowrider look, it was tough. Like just to make these lines perfectly straight, you know, out of a printer and stuff, and you know, so that was kind of a neat car as well.
Where does your heart lie inside the shop when it comes to working? Are you fabricating paint?
Yeah, so I'm kind of all of it really. That was always my goal when I started out. I wanted to be able to be a painter, a fabricator. I wanted to be able to do the wiring, and I think ultimately that's really helped me run a shop. You know, and I try to hire guys that still know beyond or have a skill set, but I can jump in there.
You can jump into everything.
I mean, that's like the business stuff is not my forte. It's building, you know, and if I'm in here 1 or 2 hours a day and then I'm out there the rest, and that's where I want to be, you know.
I've yet to meet a builder who does his own books. So who does the books in here? Because obviously it has to get done. The lights have to stay on.
Yeah, so I have office staff, a great lady named Maria, and everything's kind of chaotic right now. It's not the traditional day today because of Grand National, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm so happy you're here, but it's like the most stressful time. Yeah,
I know, I'm absolutely terrible, everybody.
No.
It is a very busy day, but there's good reason for that, because one of the cars that is going to be unveiled at the show by Brian is one that's going to be on a completely separate video for very good reason. It needs a moment all on its own, so I can learn more about the history and why it's so important. So many people are looking forward to seeing that, because I've been at the show already, not the show, but the grounds where everyone's setting up. So yeah, that you have to wait and check out. But now let's go inside and see Mackey's Hot Rods. Okay.
Here it is.
Quite a big place for starters, and this is only one of 2 buildings, everybody.
This is one of 2. This is our main fabrication and paint and body shop over on this side. This is where we do all the design work. This is where we really build the car.
Okay.
And once it's painted here as well, then we take it across the street to the assembly shop, and we'll put it together. So this is, I think, for all the builders and the true hot rodders and car guys, this is what they love to see.
Yep.
Because across the street kind of feels like a car show.
Feels like a car show. Well, I would love to find out about some of your projects. I mean, obviously the color is drawing me in. What am I looking up at here?
So that's probably our longest project ever from this shop. We've had this car over 10 years, and this is a Norwegian client, and he bought this car. It's a 1970 Mustang Mach 1. It's got a 428 Cobra Jet motor, 650 horsepower. We had the motor built. That was a huge number. Now today, everybody has 1,000. Right?
It's what happens when the projects do stay for a while.
Definitely.
Trends change. Now, has the customer changed his mind because of seeing newer things come about when it comes to the build?
But we never, this project's kind of interesting because we never set out to build this car, and we never initially designed it.
Okay.
And so this is the outcome of not having a perfect plan and just kind of going with it and doing things as we go. And that to me is a lot of freedom, and I enjoy that, but it also takes a long time to do it that way.
I bet.
And so this is a Lamborghini tangerine pearlescent color on here. I
don't think I've seen a Mach 1 with a color in this palette like.
It's bright, yeah. And this is all wet sanded, ready for final clear, or almost ready. So when it's actually in its gloss, it's very bright. And so we knew after we sprayed this that we had to tone it down, and so we started putting Mach 1 graphics on it.
Okay.
Kind of a tip of the hat to the brand new Mach 1.
Nice.
And so the car has full graphics in this really dark midnight copper. It looks black now, and I'm sure on camera. And then we have a red stripe and a white stripe.
And it's all painted, of course.
It's all hand painted, yeah. So Brandon and I laid all of that, and it should be pretty cool when it's done. We're hoping 2027 or 8 it'll be at Grand National.
Okay.
And that'll be a big accomplishment for us because the car's been here for so long. So.
Well, I definitely look forward to seeing that when it's finished.
Yeah, this will be great. Not a lot of people have seen this car. We don't have a lot of it on social media, so yeah.
Now, what have we got? We've got something very custom,
yeah,
very different.
So this is a very kind of a traditional 50s custom. This is a Ford shoebox. Well, actually, this is a Ford Victoria. It's a hardtop model, but we put a shoebox, which is a coupe back window in it when we chopped it.
So there was a car by the Ford shoebox. That's what it was called.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Ford coupe. They call them a shoebox. And then this is the Victoria, so it has no post. And they're a very cool car. They have originally from the factory, they have a wraparound back window, kind of like this Buick over here.
Right.
And the customer really liked the look of the smaller back window and a very large sail panel. And so we chopped, or are chopping this car to the styling that he likes. And so this is an example also of what we do when we have a client that comes in. All the work that was done on this car was done by him, and it's his vision. And so we're executing his vision and also guiding him a little bit and bouncing ideas back and forth. But we'll also do work like that too. You know?
I love that you're able to make it work and give him what he wants, you know?
Right.
It's not like, no, this car would not look good, it's fine from the factory, we shouldn't change it. It's what the customer wants, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, and I think that's kind of a flex for a lot of shops. They'll say like, oh, I don't build a car that I only build what I want to build. But like the reality is like we're all here in a service industry, and you can guide a customer gracefully down the path of what looks the best from a design standpoint. But I never say no to somebody like, oh no, we'll guide you along the process. You want to paint your car bright yellow? Well, what if we did like maybe, you know, a pearlescent with graphic? You know, we just try to help them.
No, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that, especially for people who are making maybe their first build. They can get really attached to it.
100%.
You know, and they come with hopes and dreams, and they've got an idea in their mind.
Yeah.
We don't want that to be shut down.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too. It's this is an exciting time for people with their dream car.
Yeah.
You know, and so to have this like horrible attitude has never been my way of business. You know,
Well, you've been doing well. I mean, 17 years in the one spot, it's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it's great. I feel like we're just getting started, really.
You're just getting started.
That's what I feel
like the sound of that,
in the words
right?
of Gene Winfield, we're just getting started.
Gene has been on the channel, everybody. Amazing legend painter, so do check it out amongst the hundreds of other videos there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at the Buick.
Yeah, so this is a very historic Buick that was built in Hawaii in the late 50s. And it's a survivor custom, and it had some magazine press back in the day. And so this is another example of the preservation side of our shop. And this stuff we hold very true
so
to our craft.
This was made, custom made in 50s?
In the 50s in Hawaii.
In Hawaii. I would have loved to know, so has there been changes yet or no?
So we have redone a lot of the metalwork because it was rusted, but we haven't changed the design or the styling.
Okay.
We've kept it true, and the owner is very keen on us keeping it exactly how it was, which is important,
And this is why I was interested as well, because what were they customizing hot rods at that time?
Right.
What style was trending in the 50s?
Yeah. So, especially on the Hawaiian Islands, back then, to get parts and to get materials and stuff, that was very different, 70 years ago or 60 years ago.
Yeah.
And so to be able to make a custom like this, but Hawaii had a really incredible scene for drag racing, for custom cars, for hot rods. They had their own full-blown culture over there.
Wow.
And so they were maybe emulating what was happening in Southern California, but giving it their flair. And so this is very cool. The car came from Hawaii I think in the 70s. And then the current owner, his dad acquired the car, and he bought it from his dad when he was 16. And so he's had the car for over 20 years and knew how special it was. And he's just an absolutely incredible guy. And we're really happy to have the car here. If you notice, the car has been sectioned. So about 4 inches of material has been taken out of the center of the car and lowered down. And so maybe from this viewpoint, you can kind of see it's not chopped. A lot of people think it's chopped.
I thought it was, okay.
But this is obviously chopped here.
Yes.
This car is sectioned here. So it's very narrow. So it almost gives it a very European look,
Did you find some ways that things were done very differently to what they're done like today?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we always find with the 50s and 60s builds is that the design and the finish work was nice, but the metal work, they just didn't give it the amount of attention that we do today.
Yeah.
So the metal work is usually pretty rough. They used lead as a body filler. And so they would do kind of quick metal work and then lead it. And then, it would last for years and years.
Yeah.
But now today we spend hundreds of $1,000s on the metal. Right?
Because often now you're showing things in absolutely bare metal.
Yeah, exactly. So this Dodge, is on its way to Grand National right now. And we've worked on this car for the last 3 years, and we've metal finished and file finished it. So there isn't any low spot on the whole car. And so when we do primer it, we're gonna have very minimal body work.
And that's why the metal, showing something in bare metal is so popular now, because it really allows us to see your skills and the workmanship underneath the paint.
Yeah, and I also think too, when the car is finished, people remember that it was bare metal, so they understand the quality of it.
Yes.
And that's another big thing is we want, when we do a new build, not the preservation stuff, but a brand new build, we want to give it the absolute highest quality that we can. And this kind of shows, this is an example of that. This is an absolute insane amount of time with a dolly and a hammer and some plenishing equipment to make the car look like this before paint. You know? And it also takes a really dedicated client.
But how long have you been working on this for?
This car we have had for 4 years, but we've really focused on it for 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and it probably has another year to year and a half before it's completed.
One of the things that I appreciate, and I do want to mention here on the channel, we've been seeing so many auctions recently, right?
Yes.
I think something you guys can take as well as getting to know Brian and the shop here, should you choose to come over here, and if you've got some work, is to, if this car was to go to the auction in a couple of years or maybe 5 years after the customer has enjoyed it, I love seeing it in bare metal, because that will be a very big telltale sign of how well a car is.
Very, very true.
Because often so many people have been burnt at the auctions, because we do cars for sale, everybody, and it's a theme that I keep coming across.
Yes.
Different auctions, different cars, they go home, and or it comes to a shop. I'm sure you've had some experience where a car has been bought at an auction and...
Yes. So when we go across the street, we'll show you a Camaro.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that. But that car, the customer bought it and was completely burnt on it. You know, we stripped it down. It had an inch of body filler.
Wow.
It wasn't even. He actually, long story short, he bought the car under the lights of the auction, thinking it was orange, and it was delivered, and it was like more of a red color.
Wow.
You know, just little things like that.
Little things like that, and then the big things is when the paint comes off.
Yeah. Then it was horrible. He goes, well, I guess we're going to build my $1 million dream car.
Wow.
You know, it's like, you know, so yeah, you have to be careful no matter where you are.
Yeah.
If you're buying a car off the street corner or if you're at an auction, always consult a professional.
Yeah.
You know, anything, let's say, gosh, when you get into six-figure cars, I mean, oh my gosh, spend the $3,000 or $4,000 to have it inspected.
You have to.
You know,
I mean,
$3,000 or $4,000 could save you $200.
I don't think I'm the only one who saw the $1 million Continental, right?
Yeah.
All I'm saying, everybody, is let's appreciate the bare metal phase, and I hope that it stays here for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
All the top builders are doing it to show a car in bare metal, even if it means delaying the unveiling for another year. This allows us to see the work involved and the finish.
Very true.
It's nice to see it all shiny in paint,
Yeah.
but I do love seeing it in bare metal, everyone.
Yeah, paint is beautiful, but you know, it can hide a lot of sins, right? And so...
Now, you told me that this Dodge from factory was not so pretty.
It was not. It was a very oddball car. This Dodge Coronet was a very low-end car as well. It was inexpensive.
The poor man's car, the poor man's Dodge.
At the time, yeah. And so even all the inner structure was very lacking. So the body really shifted around. We've had to build a lot of inner structure. It had a roof that was, this is not an extreme chop, but this is a 5-inch chop. And so the roof was up here. And you know, we did a mild chop, but we had to take a lot of material out. And it had a wraparound back window. So we put a 51 Mercury back window in it.
Okay.
Which is very unusual. I've really never seen a car other than the Hero Hata Merc with a 51 Mercury back window in it that looks proper. And so this was only just a challenge to challenge myself to see if I could put this window in a car and make it look as good as the Hero Hata Merc.
What were some of the changes you had to do to the border of it, to the structure of it, to make it fit?
So we added an additional strip here to the roof and leaned it a certain way. We had to actually take the crown or the peak out of the deck lid and flatten this or pancake it to make all of this package tray area look proper. And usually on the 51 Mercury back window, the peak kind of comes down right here, and people will sink this area too low. And so what I've noticed is this needs to correspond with the belt line of the window. Like I could come around and show you here, but
because I haven't seen the stock.
Yeah, so like this section needs to line up with the window right here. And when you can do that, then this back window looks really cool. But a lot of guys will put this too high, or even they'll sink it and it's too low. And so the glass and the window viewpoints look different. And so this was a really big struggle. And I, you know, not ego, but I think this looks perfect. I think I nailed it. And, you know,
I can't wait to go see what the stock looks like, because as soon as I walked in, I'm digging this a lot. You know, I am digging it, everybody. I did use that word, especially the back here. It's so custom.
Yeah. We're not going to have the taillights in for the show at Grand National. And the bumper isn't quite finished, but you get the idea, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's we've stretched the car. It was kind of short as well. We've stretched it. It had a kind of a funky little hump right here, so we've made a new panel and kind of streamlined all of this. And but you know what's funny on this car? We're keeping the stock grille, It has a really unique grille.
Okay.
And typically on a custom car that you change the grille, the headlights, the taillights, you chop it, you change the trim, the stock grille is going to stay. So yeah, so this will be a great project when it's completed. It's going to go as a traditional custom. So what we say custom with a K. So like this will be a traditional 50s custom, and yeah, it'll.
So there's a reason why it's with a K.
Yeah, so that
educate me, Brian, please.
Well, okay, so that was started in the 50s with a car club called the Kustoms Los Angeles, and they spelt it with a K, probably just to be different or to be custom.
Yeah.
And that's kind of represented, the spelling of it has represented that time period of the 50s and early 60s. And so when you talk about a car like that's chopped and channeled, yeah, so custom with a K, that's...
so it started off with the car club back in the 50s, 60s,
right.
and
right.
this is kind of what it...
This is what it kind of embodies right here. You know, that's the styling. So our goal is, like with this car, even though it's built today in 2025, 2026, I want this to be able to park next to that historic Buick.
Yeah. And
look like they came from the same time period.
Love it.
You know.
Absolutely love it. But
yeah.
As we were talking about before on customer input and builder input, something like this would have had to have more of your input into it on what you can do and what you can make look good, especially when it came to the back window.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, I was saying this car, we didn't even set out and draw this one out on paper. This was just all my ideas. And so this one really, I feel very connected to this car because it was all my input, and the customer, who's an incredible long-term friend of mine, said, let's do what you want to do, you know? And I would tell him like, hey, I want to put these taillights in it, you know, these 56 Packard lights. And he's like, okay, that looks great, you know?
Yeah.
So ultimately, I still give him the respect to say the final decision, but he's always like, do you like it? Are you proud of it?
Yes.
And that is like, when you're a client, you say that to your builder, that is the ultimate. It's like, well, does it have your approval? And you know, and that's the best client.
Well, because they know you, they know your work, and they respect it, and that's why they've chosen you.
Yeah. So yeah, like I feel like I'm easy as like a shop owner and designer. It's like, if you give me the green light, I'll build you the coolest car ever.
Yeah.
If you want to be involved with it, we could do that too, a little bit. And then if you are building your own car, like we talked about with that Crown or that Victoria, you know, and he's doing the majority of the work, and he just wants us to do one part of it. I said, okay, we'll chop it. You know? I
love that you do take on projects like that. It's not just full builds.
Yeah, our bread and butter nowadays is full turnkey builds, but we'll do a chop top. Yeah. You know, and we'll do smaller. You know, we'll do a paint job for other shops too. You know, and so things like that.
Well, speaking of chop tops, before we continue to look at the next project here at Mackey's Hot Rods, tell me about the channel. You've been around for a while. There's a lot of subscribers, some awesome videos. So tell me, how did it all start?
So we started the channel in 2011, and we've just kind of started to really revamp it in the last 2 years and grow it, and we've had some good success. We're shooting for a 1 million view video, and we're almost there, which is cool.
It's a lot of fun. You have to check out the channel. I'm going to put a link on the top right-hand corner as well. You have to check it out because there is build videos and there is 30, 40-minute videos, and then you've got 15-minute videos as well for those of us who don't always have the time, but it's quite entertaining.
Yeah, we try to put out a video every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And yeah, it's all from right here in the shop, and you get a little bit of every personality from the guys too, which is cool.
Speaking of personality, when I walked in here, I met Ethan. Who else did I meet? Brandon. Yeah. And they all seem to have disappeared when the camera turns on, and I absolutely hate that. Super nice guys, and they were working as well. So
it's funny. They're not shy because they're used to being on camera now with the channel, but we're just so crazy. We have to be
moving things around. Fair enough.
In a couple hours.
I am going to try and grab some of them and just see, come and say hello. And
they're all great on camera. They're and they're great guys.
Of course.
So I'm sure that if our viewers cross over, they'll recognize a lot of those guys.
There you go. It's just my first time here, everyone. Now, chop tops. You've got a 50 Ford or 51 Ford on the channel, which caught my attention.
Yes, that's that one.
That's that one.
I had to think. Yep.
Yeah. So that is on the channel, and then some of the Bonneville races. You've been out there as well.
Yep.
So one of the things that I love about YouTube, and I like it when people like Brian share it, not everybody can travel, not everybody can hop on a plane and go to the event. So by you showing it, it really helps people, you know, to reconnect and take them back to some of those younger days.
I think so too, and I am the exact same way. Like, I get home and watch YouTube channels of people sailing their boat around the world, right? And I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So then people are watching our stuff, going to Bonneville.
Yeah.
And then even obviously your stuff. Like, this is incredible to be able to tour different. I watch your channel all the time with shops just to see what they're doing and how their equipment's set up. And, you know. And that is, I think, the greatest part of social media.
Yes.
Is that people get to see other parts of the world.
Absolutely, and that's why when I come across and I find out there's a YouTube channel involved, like, let's let everybody know what's happening.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Now you've got so many different builds, then you've got something completely original, still in its rust.
Yes, it is. It's kind of in sad condition right now, but this car. So this was Little John Butera's last project, and Little John was a very famous custom car builder here in Southern California. He's passed away since, he passed away I think 10 or 15 years ago. But Little John Butera, he would build IndyCar chassis in his garage in Long Beach. Right, and so he was just an incredible fabricator. This was his last project. This isn't our build.
Okay.
This is Chip Foose's car, and I bought it from him like, I don't know, 10 years ago, and then he bought it back. and so it's been sitting here. When we initially had it 10 years ago, the metal looked great, but a lot of cool custom fabrication, also by an old school kind of legendary Huntington Beach guy named Steve Davis, who did all of that fabrication in the wheel well. And
he would have done this a while back.
Yeah, this was done like, you know, they started this project like 15 years ago.
Wow, okay.
But a lot of legendary guys, Little John Butera, Steve Davis, and I think Chip is going to, hopefully he builds this car because he has the rear axle that's all been machined out of billet.
Okay.
And he has the front axle, which is all machined from Little John Butera. And so, I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully he'll finish it.
Well, Foose Design is not far from here, literally just down the road. So whenever you make a visit, be sure to stop by and have a chat with Brian.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's a pretty cool place, but...
Yeah, we get a lot of Chip's overflow visitors.
Yeah. It's a nice place to visit, but there's some pretty cool projects still here. Let's go see something that's, I think, almost finished.
Yeah.
Fully finished. And then something else that is still needing some work. Okay, Brian, where do you want to take me first?
We can look at the Camaro. This was a finished car that came in with a blown engine, and we yanked the engine and trans, sent both of them out to the rebuilder. We'll do the install and change a few things on it. And then he has a couple little dings and dents, so we will do the bodywork and blend it in. But it's a nice car that we obviously didn't build, but are, you know, keeping it going for the client.
And the other good thing about the Hot Rod Shop tours is just to understand that so many people who do have classics, they can bring their car in here and get it serviced, because you cannot just take it anywhere, right? Right,
exactly. And that's where this guy, you know, he was recommended to us, and he was having a hard time finding a shop that would do this work. You know, when you pull an engine and you send it to the rebuilder, a lot of times the machine shop has it for 3 or 4 weeks, and most mechanic shops don't want a car sitting around for that long, but we're used to it.
You're used to it.
We're used to it. So the car can sit here and we can do other work while we're waiting for the machinist, and you know, so. But a really cool Camaro, 71 if I remember right. It might be a 70. Gosh, I don't know. The muscle car stuff, I love it, but I'm not like.
I was going to ask your style. So you're more traditional hot rods, customs.
I feel like I'm. I don't know, when we go across the street, we'll see the 59 El Camino we built.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that really like nails it for me. That car has a lot of like modern upgrades and stuff, but it's very much an original body, bigger wheels, you know, kind of a
What was your first
car,
car, Brian?
My first true car was a 68 El Camino.
Okay, so you are an El Camino fan. Okay.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of funny. I've had Camaros, and then I found the hot rods and like, you know, the 32s and then the customs, and so. I'm all over the place.
You're all over the place. Well, I do like to check out some of the tools. So it looks like you've got a Pullmax machine here.
Yes,
quite a big one as well.
Yeah, that's a Pullmax, and we've got all of our fabricating equipment back here for all the metal shaping.
For those of us who have not used the Pullmax, where do you use it most often when fabricating?
Well, what this machine is great for, like say we wanted to make a rocker panel or a very long piece of material that's going to stay the same shape, or even have like a nice curve in it, and you can use that to get edges and to get sharp creases. And this machine will also shrink metal too, which is helpful. And so we have these thumbnail shrinking dies, and initially that's why I bought this machine. I'm like, well, we need a way to shrink, and so that's what those are, the thumbnail dies.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
you don't need a shrinker now because
yeah, we have a kick shrinker over there still too, but this is just faster. So this is almost like a power hammer at that point,
Yeah.
And so I am not a fan of power hammers. Sounds silly, but like they're so noisy, and in our shop with 5 guys working in here, and you got a guy running a power hammer all day, bam, 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 bam. I'm just not a fan of it. And I've always kind of gravitated towards the English wheel and the wheeling machines. So we've got 2 of them here, and they take a little bit longer, but they're so much more graceful.
This is the English wheel here?
Yeah, that's one of them I just bought as a smaller unit that we can transport around the shop.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I've seen the English wheels always very big.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a larger one back there, but this one is a little bit smaller. We can move it around. And I don't know, these machines, they have such history, and they're so graceful, and they're quiet, and you get this rhythm going, and the power hammer is so different, It's like your hands.
But they are traditional tools, Brian. What I'm getting at here is how much of your builds involve more modern technology, and how much do you rely back on the traditional stuff?
Well, so that's a great question. I'm noticing as the last several years in our industry, we have had now CNC machines that are shaping metal, like the guys down at Saltworks Fab in Florida. You can call up and order a panel, and it's made on like a CNC machine, and then we have all these scanners now that can scan parts and 3D print parts, and I am going in the complete opposite direction of all of that. I don't want any of that stuff.
Okay.
I want hand-built, like old-timey hand-built craftsmanship. I'm sure at some point there'll be a use for it for us.
Yeah.
But I see that stuff.
But at the moment, it's
like,
not. It's all hand.
Like,
okay, nice.
And then now I'm seeing too, like robotic painting machines.
Oh wow! I mean, I did see something about the welding machines that were robotic, but a paint,
machines,
yeah, so, I'm not a big fan of that because it's just too much replacement, especially with the robots.
Yeah, I see a need for it, and it all makes sense for like production vehicles. But this is an art, and it will always remain an art. And this is for me sculpting and designing and fabricating and building and the true craftsman. And so I think really where my shop is going to end up going is the opposite direction of that stuff.
Okay.
That's all needed, and I appreciate it, but it's not me.
It's good to know. I love finding out about different shops, different builders, and different styles, Brian.
I have a hard time doing the same thing twice too. Like, I think that's where like my artistic side comes. Like I don't want to make the same car twice or the same panel twice, or I want to do one car and that's the masterpiece or the painting, and then we're done. Then we do another one. And
how did you get into cars?
I come from a long line of builders and fabricators and masons and stuff. I have a long generation of masons from back in the Midwest.
Okay.
And they were all surveyors and builders and designers. And at a young age, I was always in the garage with my grandfather, and he was an engineer and an artist, incredible artist. But his big thing was flight and aircraft. And so I don't know, I just gravitated towards the cars.
So that you've always had creativity in you.
Yeah, and I felt like I've always needed to build. Like it's just, sometimes I do things and I don't even know how I know how to do them. I don't,
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just in me, I can't stop doing it, you know.
Well, I'm glad. We don't want you to stop.
Yeah. So this is a very cool project right here too. I'm assuming you wanted to talk about this one now.
I do, absolutely.
This was a neat project that was brought to us as a car that was started from another shop, and it was all sheet metal screwed together and all cut up, and just like it came in, you could just like shake the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And it started out as two cars that the guys cut up in their driveway and like sheet metal screwed them together. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. None of the proportions were right, but they had an idea, right? Mm-hmm. And it was the owner and his friend, and they had this idea to do this thing, but the execution was all wrong, and it was just like a garage build, you know? And so we took it on, and I met the owner, and absolutely, he's become such a close friend, almost like a father figure now to me. And he's a great guy. And we took this car completely apart, took every single panel apart, cut all the stuff that was done wrong off of it, and had to redo the whole thing. And so what this is a sedan delivery, 1942, and a 1946 Chevrolet Fleetline. So it's both Chevrolet. So Chevy Sedan Delivery and Chevy Fleetline.
Okay.
And so they're blended together. So it's Fleetline doors, which were much longer than the Sedan Delivery. They also give you this curved B panel.
So has it been chopped?
Yes, it's brought down about 2 inches in the A pillar and 2.5 in the B and the C pillars. And then I changed the angle of the rear deck and the door. It has all Fleetline trim. I widened the back of the car 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Because it pinched in. We had to chop the rear door. We sectioned the door. It's just, every single panel had to be modified. We had to build all of the inner structure because it was all wood. Right. We built a huge tunnel all the way down. When the car came in, it was sitting crooked 1 inch forward, and it was all over the place.
I bet they had a lot of fun doing it, didn't they?
I think it was just like I don't know, they might have been all drunk when they did it.
You know who's going to see this.
I don't know, but at any rate, we just we took their backyard idea and made the car functional. And so hopefully we have another 2 years on it, and it'll be a finished car.
That's what I mean. I couldn't pick on what is this, because everything just looks so different.
Yeah, it's a wild looking machine, but it has a very deco feel to it, and all of the curves and the lines. I made sure that the roof line was just right there with the whole rest of the styling from that era. You know, that was my biggest focus on this car, was to make sure that roof line was perfect.
Seeing projects like this, everybody, really shows us what you're capable of, because to get something in absolute pieces, yeah, and then to put it all together and still make it, I mean, I think it looks great. Obviously it's in primer right now. Do we know what color we're thinking?
I think we're going to go maroon, like the original 46 Chevrolet Maroon.
Yep.
Yeah. This one here really feels like we've coach built this car, different from customizing these other cars.
Okay.
This one felt like, because we had to start from nothing, you know.
And is that what would define a coach build?
Yeah, I mean, I think like customizing cars is taking one from the factory and changing things,
Mm-hmm.
but coach built is like from the ground up, you know.
Okay.
And I can't say this is fully coach built, because like the doors were off of a different factory car. But a coach built car is like starting from flat pieces of sheet metal and totally designing your own car, you know. It's not really
I
what we do
appreciate that.
here,
I didn't know that, so
yeah.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah. We're not like
good.
traditional like coach builders here at this shop. We're customizers. But this one here, there was so much engineering and fabrication.
There's a lot of work involved.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
the fact you've made it all into one whole car again, I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty big.
It
But
was,
hey,
yeah.
I'm loving the sign. And then there's an upstairs. Can I ask about the
yeah.
upstairs, or is that door I'm not allowed
No,
to
that's okay. Let's run up there real quick too. So that is Miguel's office. Miguel does all of our editing and filming and YouTube stuff.
That's right,
And so
Mackey's
that is
and
our-
Machine channel,
Yeah.
everyone.
So that's just the
Now I have to ask, you've got the body of something hanging on the wall.
That's a roof. That's a roof panel from a 51 Mercury. That's where the window came from for that Dodge.
Oh, I love it.
So we had the spare roof, so we just hung it up.
See, now you do have I'm going to call it a very small junkyard up at the front.
Yeah.
You like to collect some cars and stuff, because obviously for this reason.
Yeah, like, I try not to have too many cars around. I mean, we're in Southern California, right, 2 miles from the ocean. We don't have a lot of space here, so I can't keep that much stuff. But some of those are client cars, some of those are parts cars.
Okay.
And they're just, they just sit outside and rust.
I like it. I like seeing things like that when I pull up at a shop.
Yep. I apologize apologize for the mess, because
No apology.
We've been pushing for Grand National, but...
Talk to me about the wall. This is so cool.
So this was kind of a little passion project I had 2 years ago, and I started collecting these car club plaques. These were all 40s, 50s, and 60s. Some even actually in the 80s and 90s, but this was a trend that became popular in the 50s. And so guys would create these clubs, and they would make a plaque and send them out to the caster, like the sand caster, and make them out of aluminum.
I'm going to zoom this in. Please comment if you recognize or were part of one of these clubs, right, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. We always like to hear when people say, hey, my dad was this, and a lot of these clubs are still around. There are a lot of them, you'll start to notice, it'll say SFG, what is it? San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
SFV or SGV, San Gabriel Valley. And then look, we were talking about this earlier. There's the Customs, Los Angeles. Yep. We were talking about that one. Selectors, SoCal.
See, I know Pistons I've heard of and met some of their members.
That's a very old plaque.
Pharaohs, I've met some of their members.
Yeah, that's an old club too. And then the Roadsters are obviously still around.
Yes.
The Lifters, gosh, the Sultans are still around. That's an original Sultans plaque.
Burton Dr is still around.
Yeah. There's the Lifters. They're a club that's alive and well. So, and like, here's Rail Hustlers. This is an original plaque that was done back in the day, So, and I have so many more I still have to hang up too. Trompers are still around in LA.
You really are a traditional hot rodder, aren't you, at heart?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I love this. I just love this stuff, So yeah, a lot of these were gifts, and then a lot of them I purchased. But like this one, Camshaft. This is a 40s club, late 40s, and you can tell like the size of this one is so much larger. As these clubs started making plaques into the 70s, they got smaller, and so like this would have been probably more of a 70s plaque, and then like this, Gear Grinders are still around. Auto Butchers in East LA are still around.
Auto Butchers.
Yeah. So this is so fun to sit up here at the editing desk and look out at this, this wall of plaques.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then right here, which you probably didn't even notice, this is every hot rod magazine ever.
Okay.
Ever.
I am so not surprised that this is here, because chatting with you and learning more about yourself, like I said, an absolute traditional hot rodder, now you've got every single magazine.
Yeah. So I built this little stand so I can come up here and we'll pull out this is probably 1950 or 51. Let's see. This is 1951. And so every magazine, original,
What an awesome place for your clients to sit down and just flip through.
Yeah. It's it's a reference point, and then it's obviously still a collection. I don't know, a couple hundred guys that have the whole set, but in the world, but it's what's a lot of fun. Like, I'll look through here. Let me pull out 1985.
I would like to sit here and just look through those magazines to see what was happening in the style of cars that was popular.
What we like to do is look at the ads. Or the cigarette ads, they're always in the back.
Oh, the cigarette ads were the best.
You know? Yeah, like look at this, you know.
You've got what it takes.
Yeah. So, you know, the ads of the time, and there you go. Look at that. Is that, who is that?
It's a whole new world.
Yeah.
Enjoy a drag.
Isn't that funny?
Oh,
so,
that's awesome.
I'm proud of that. And I have all the binders.
So these binders
too.
are from that era, from the time?
Yeah, so you could buy a binder, you know. Obviously in 80 it went to a different brighter red.
Oh, wow, okay.
But they're all embossed with hot rod, you know. So
that's pretty cool, everybody.
and then like, yeah, these are like the really early binders. Like, check this out. So like that, even
that's
that
an
binder,
oldie?
Yeah. Right? So
1951. I love vintage things, so I do like seeing this.
Yeah.
And I can see how excited you get, Brian, just looking at them and coming back to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool to have it here. And I wanted, like, again, we're tight on space, but I wanted a bookshelf that went all the way to the roof.
Of course, you had to build it. You're being a builder.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. Hey, there is another building, so I'm excited. I mean, we've already seen so much. Love the style in here. Let's take a walk across the road. And I do hear voices. Let's see if we can hassle some.
We'll run out and grab them. So they're moving the Dodge into the trailer right now, so we can load in today for Grand National Roadster Show.
You know, everybody, I have mentioned this before, that when it comes to the shows, we love going there and seeing the cars. But I have been there during setup and takedown as well. And there is a lot of work involved from the booth, from the builders. And this is exactly what we're looking at right now.
So this is I'm going to say this is the greatest crew of all time.
I'm not going to
So Brandon headed the steering. He's paint and body here at the shop.
Okay.
Adam is in front. He's a fabricator. We have Tom up there and his son Noah, who run a shop up in Oregon. They're just down here helping. We have Mr. Lee, who's been with me for 15 years.
Oh, nice.
And he's kind of the unsung hero because he doesn't get a lot of publicity or notoriety, but he's almost 80 years old, and he's one of the greatest metal fabricators ever.
Oh, amazing.
And then Ethan, who you met.
Yes.
Who's just an incredible all-around.
You did great, guys. Glad we could help.
Thank you.
No pressure.
Look at that car go down the street. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I love it.
I haven't seen that.
Employee now.
Man. What is it, 6 horsepower and 1 donkey?
Yeah.
It's all about the moral support,
Yeah.
even if I'm just holding the camera.
This is crazy. You get to see that car for the first time out in sunlight. I've never even seen it outside.
It looks good, man.
It looks cool, thank you. Yeah.
I love it. Like I said, bare metal is just, it's got a real style of its own. And where we're walking, everybody, we're walking across to the assembly room. We're going to see some of the finished cars and also check out a little bit more of Brian's earlier love with the El Caminos. I do like them too. And they were very popular on the West Coast, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, it's like a ute, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
There you go.
Yeah,
There's the Aussie word for it.
Yeah. So this is the assembly shop. That's an old little rusty 39 Ford pickup that we threw together last year and drove it out to Utah, Bonneville Salt Flats. Doesn't really represent what we do, but it represents we can build a really reliable vehicle and drive it 1,800 miles, you know.
And like still keep it in patina, yeah?
Yeah, just keep it as is. And like we had like 5 hours of testing on that before we left.
Nice.
You know? And so those are the fun challenges that we like to do.
Because it's not just about doing the fabricating and customizing the panels and chopping the tops, but what happens on the drivetrain is just as important here.
Yeah. Like I would never hire a builder that doesn't do road trips and drives their cars, like long distance. That's like a qualification. I think if anybody's out there looking at a shop anywhere in the world, like your hot rod builder needs to drive their cars and have those moments where they realize like this product doesn't work or that fails or you know, that's
and what
really
to do
important.
in those,
Right. So so every year we drive to Bonneville and I learn something every year about the products we use, or you know, and I will say, like, We've never had a breakdown in 10 years of driving to Bonneville.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how far is that from here? How many hours?
So it's a 12-hour drive.
Wow.
And so round trip is 16 to 1,800 miles, depending on which route we take. Yeah.
That's a long drive.
It's a long drive.
That's a long drive.
Yeah.
I do like what I'm seeing under that cover, but I won't...
Oh, yeah, that's a 59 Cadillac Coupe de Ville that's waiting to come into the shop.
And it's all pink, everybody. I can see from a little corner panel here.
I can show you. It's it was a car that was built somewhere else, or was started somewhere else, but it's we'll start on it for the client someday.
Someday.
They're not in any huge rush, but
wow, that's going to be pretty cool
Coupe
when
de
it's
Ville.
finished. I can imagine when you give it your touch to it.
Yeah, it's already slammed down way low, and you know, it's got a good start.
Okay, this is the assembly.
This is the assembly shop. We have 2 cars in here now that we're still working on, and this is the Camaro that I was talking to you about. This was the car that he bought at auction. It's a 68 convertible, and unfortunately when we stripped it down to repaint it, the body filler was so enormous and thick, and rust and fiberglass, and so...
Now, the customer didn't come here to repaint it because of the rust factor. He just didn't like the color.
Yes.
And as a result, he's found out exactly how much rust there is. Because if he didn't do that, Brian, what would have happened in the next years of him just driving it and not fixing the rust and Bondo underneath?
In the next probably 3 to 5 years, it would have surfaced, and we can give an example on that Chevelle back there, but it starts to bubble and blister, and
that's what happens when you paint over rust and you don't fix it.
Right.
I mean, because when you look at it, it looks great, and that's the problem, isn't it?
So we had to redo every panel on this car, and it now has 700 horsepower. LS in it, and a 6-speed gearbox, and full new front and rear suspension from Heights.
And then you've got some that are finished?
Yeah, so we have a couple cars here. Like this is a 51 Chevrolet, and this is for a longtime friend of mine. She wanted this car a light pink color, and so we used a 57 Cadillac pink with a cream top. And this is just like a nice driver, weekend, cruiser.
Nice.
It's not fully restored, but it's just painted. And then this one, I might be able to kind of lift the cover off, but this is another historic 32 Ford sedan. And this is an old race car. And this car I call the Bell X322.
Oh, come on, Brian, why is the cover on? And that's what everybody's saying at home.
Okay, now you're going to make me hop up there.
I am. It's either you or me. I don't mind.
But this car I bought from a very cool New Zealander.
Really? Okay.
So his name is Squeak Bell. And Squeak found this Southern California race car outside of Bakersfield and got it going again. And I have followed the journey of this car forever. And I wanted this car so bad. And when it came up for sale, I bought it. And he sold it to me, which was very cool. Because there was about 50 guys that wanted it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have located a personal project in the shop.
Right. So this is a sedan that was in Southern California all of its life. We have every documented owner, and it was a drag car. And I know you can't really see it probably from here, but you sit in the center of the car in the back seat. The shifter is right in between your legs. It is the most difficult drag car to ever, I feel like, to ever race, because you can't see out of the windshield when you're that far
What
back.
was the purpose behind that seating?
Weight distribution. Mm-hmm. And it has a 322 cubic inch nail head that's also set back. And it's a nasty machine. It picks up and goes for the era of the car, for a 50s drag car, you know.
Would you race once it's finished?
Oh, it is. We do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's finished.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
We race it. We run it.
See, I'm looking at the paint and I'm thinking.
I know. So it was painted in the 60s, this purple color. And so it's, you know, it's go right back to that nostalgia thing. Like, I don't want to change it.
No, I can see that.
Maybe one day we could restore it, but for now we just run it.
You love the story and history behind the cars, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep. We've got the El Camino here.
The El Camino is here. So this is kind of my latest pride and joy build. We did this one last year for Grand National Roadster Show, and the owner has about 1,000 miles on it now.
Nice.
And so it's back for its 1,000-mile checkup. And I love this car. It's beautiful. Most of the body is in its stock configuration. This was an example of one that we teamed up with legendary designer Steve Stanford, and him and I bounced ideas back and forth, and we came up with this.
Okay.
And so this car is running 59 Impala side trim on an El Camino. And what that did was give us this paint divide line right here. And so we were able to put red in here, and that red ties in and matches the upholstery in the dash.
And the wheels as well.
And then Steve came up with the red line tire, which I love. We're running 19s and 20s. Those were done by Curtis Speed, Mike Curtis over in Orange.
Yep.
Mike was a longtime Boyd Coddington wheel machinist, and he now runs his very successful business.
I have heard and do hope to visit sometime this year. This is, I'm obsessed with wheels and tires recently. So 19s at the front, 20s in the back. Mm-hmm. It's giving it just that perfect rake, isn't it?
I think so. If I were to do another one, I might go 18s and 19s, just because I lean more towards the traditional looking wheels. Mm-hmm. But I still love this. You know, this is the biggest wheel that I've ever done.
Oh, really? And I'm thinking maybe with 22s in the back.
Yeah, but this car sits on a Roadster shop chassis. We put a wood bed in it.
Let's see underneath the hood.
What's that?
Under the hood?
Yeah, we can pop this too. Where's my little thing?
Nice.
Very simple. Looks like it doesn't run. Everything's hidden. The inner fender wells on this car get so dusty and dirty when it's being driven.
It's black.
Yeah.
It's black. That comes with it, but it does look cool. I mean, this looks really mean under the engine bay.
Yep. No, you know, just ultimately, this was a reliable build. Nothing crazy on horsepower. It just, we wanted it just to go and go and go. So it's a 300 horse with a 4-speed automatic, disc brakes all the way around.
Well, you can just drive it, enjoy it, and it still looks absolutely brilliant, honestly. Look at the inside here, everyone. So what happens inside the shop here, Brian? One of my questions always at the shops, and what gets outsourced?
So I came up with this design of the interior, which I really just took from a 61. Mm-hmm. Door panels from a 60 and the seats from a 61. And then kind of just gave a quick sketch and took it over to Al's garage. And Alfredo does our upholstery work in Orange. And so he did the seat and the door panels and the carpet and then the headliner. But the headliner, I really opted to run a stock headliner. It's got the GM style headliner with the little stars on it.
Okay.
And so that is just a stock print. But one thing I did, if you notice, like from the dashboard, the top of the dash is black and the package tray back there is black. And so we built this panel right here that runs all the way across. So your eye continues in black all the way around. That was a whole red door panel it would break the transition, and your eye would kind of just be going all over the place. It goes back to the design of Art Deco, is like the continued motion. You know?
Very well thought of, and it does flow. I understand exactly what you're saying. You know, one of the things that I like when I do come to the shops is to get tips and, you know, some advice, and people who've been doing it for many years. And I hope that at home, you are not sitting down, you can absorb some of the information as well when it comes to either building, buying, or even just checking out cars the next show, what to look out for, right?
Exactly, yep.
So you've got, tell me about what I'm looking at here, right here now.
So this is a 70s Chevelle that came in for an engine and transmission rebuild. And this is a great example of what happens when you paint over rust. They bought this car, you know, quite a few years ago, but this is what happens. It blisters, and if water gets trapped on the inside here, this is what it starts to do to the metal. If the car is not properly painted or there wasn't the right process done, and this is what you have to be careful when you're buying a car, even at auction. A lot of times these vinyl tops are a good way to hide rust too. Mm-hmm. And so I imagine that this rust started on the Chevelles. It always starts in this window cavity here, and then it works its way down, and that's exactly what you can see here.
You can actually hear it as well, isn't that?
So it's kind of a sad deal.
Because that's what I had to ask you, because you see a car, it's painted, but then what happens a few years down the track? Well, this is what happens.
It is, yeah. And unfortunately, what we can see here, we know there's damage, but when we pull this apart and take the vinyl top off and strip the paint, it's going to be way worse, you know. And so this will be a $20,000 or $30,000 repair, you know. Yeah,
because I mean, if that's what's showing now, who knows how much other rust is there? And then, but from the front of it, it looks great.
Yeah, the car, it's a beautiful car, and it's a true SS big block 396 car, numbers matching engine. So it's worth it to fix the rust.
Yeah.
The problem is then we have to blend this paint color, and the paint color is not original. So that's where this, you heard the term like snowballing, right? Like we do the rust repair, then we have to blend the paint, or do we just paint the whole car?
Yeah.
And if we're going to paint the whole car, maybe it should be the right color, you know?
Yeah.
And so then we go to a color change maybe, you know? And that's where these projects, they go from one little job to a full restoration.
Yeah. It's not like the modern day cars where something's not working, let's just fix this one panel. It really does snowball, and they don't call them projects for no reason, right?
It's true. But these guys, the family that owns this Chevelle, they drive it and they love it, and it's like a child to them. So I imagine we'll dig into it and get it repaired.
And I'm sure that they'll be keen to do it the right way. Yep. Before we wrap up, I love it. I mean, there's lines of transmissions and engines just sitting here. I do want to bring something close up, and let me know your thoughts at home if you recognize this, because that is what the next segment will be with Brian. Check this out. Larry Watson is the name, 57 Cadillac Broom, and guess what? It is now in the possession of Brian. And not just that, so much more to come on that in the next episode with Brian, but let's continue along. I had to show you that, it was right there.
It's right there.
It was right there.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, Brian, I have had a fabulous time.
I have too. Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad we got to get together right before Grand National, and I'm glad you're out of the freezing cold weather in nice Southern California.
I know, it is nice. I am enjoying it. I really am. But you know, one of the things I really appreciate is looking at the channel. It's so much fun. There's so many tips and stuff at Mackey & Machine YouTube channel. Coming here, it is just so like everything has slowed down. Every build is very, very unique. There's a lot of thought that has gone into the build. It's not like it's a YouTube channel chaotic shop, right?
We're a shop first and a YouTube channel second.
There you go.
Where some of the YouTubers are a YouTube channel first, and then they build cars. You know?
Well, that's why I asked you how it started and when came what. But obviously the shop and you as a builder has been here for a long time. You know, almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
And then of course to help people at home, and also just to keep things fun,
Yeah.
the channel came
Yeah,
along.
keep us out there and engaging with great people. It's wild, like the amount of people and the reach that you get. Yeah, anybody that's watching, come check our channel out.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here. And
Absolutely.
see you at Grand National.
We see a lot of different shops, and I do like modern technology, and it's great to have access to that. But for folks at home, if you are building, then I think your channel really does it justice to help them, because they're not going to be able to have access to a CNC machine or to a 3D printer, but using traditional tools, traditional methods to get the job done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, if we're doing something on a big piece of equipment that they
Yeah.
don't have at home, we'll try to show them a way that they can do it themselves.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Hey, Brian, you've been awesome.
Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure to meet
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Nice to meet you too.
I'll see you at the show.
Okay, we'll see you there.
All right, let's continue on, everyone.